Welcome to the FNO InsureTech podcast, a place where movers and shakers from all points within the insurance ecosystem gather and discuss all things InsureTech. We talk about how technology and innovation are affecting and driving change in the industry. Here are your hosts, Matt D. Fothery, Lee Boyd, and Rob Beller.
Hey, podcast world, welcome to a very special edition of FNO News.
Woo!
That's right, the version of FNO that covers newsworthy events, topics, and pieces of information from the world of InsureTech. I am your
Host?
co-anchor.
Anchor.
I'm your co-anchor, Rob Beller, here with my other co-anchor.
Yeah, okay. Lee Boyd.
Lee
Hi,
Boyd,
everybody.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about a special piece of information from
News.
a company that we've covered in the past, RiskGenius, and their recent acquisition by Bold Penguin. And so we have Chris Cheatham, former CEO of RiskGenius, now VP at Bold Penguin, on today to tell us all about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Chris was on to tell us all about his company and how he uses all this data and can really read and learn these policies. And Bold Penguin has acquired them, and it's going to be a very exciting marriage, I guess I could say. So
Sure.
I think we ought to let him tell us all about it.
Let's let him tell it. And this is just a special little feature for us. So let's go to our interview with Chris Cheatham to hear about the acquisition by Bold Penguin. Hey, everybody. We're here with our special guest who has been with us before, a top fiver, as we call them at FNO InsureTech, meaning that Chris Cheatham from RiskGenius is with us, and his first podcast with us is a top 5 all-time podcast. So this is no
Congratulations.
ordinary podcast guy.
That's right.
Right? Did I get that right, Chris?
No, you're right. I am very serious about being a top 5 podcast guy, no matter what podcast it is. I have to be in the top 5. So
There you go.
it's an expectation, not something I anticipate. Every time I show up and I say, I'll be in the top 5 of
There
this
you go.
random podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, he did not disappoint us. So as payback, because as we all know what payback is,
That's right. Always good.
we forced him into coming on again to talk about some really big news that Chris has about RiskGenius, and it's out there, and we all know that, but it's been relatively quick. So we're going to just jump right in and ask Chris to tell us about your big news at RiskGenius.
Yeah, happy to. And thanks for having me again. I appreciate it. Yeah, the big news is RiskGenius, which was the company I worked at. We were acquired by Bold Penguin. So for the uninitiated, Bold Penguin is they call it the largest known insurance exchange in the galaxy, I think is on the front of their website, which I think is pretty hilarious. And so, it depends on if you believe in extraterrestrials or not, because there might be a bigger one that we don't know about yet.
That's true.
Did you know, by the way, there's insurance for alien abductions?
No, I did not know that.
True story. Down in Arizona, you can get insurance for being abducted by aliens. That's a quick side note. But yeah, super excited to be acquired, though. Back on topic. Basically, Bold Penguin makes commercial insurance bind and quote really, really fast. They've taken a week-long process down to days. They have some of the largest insurance carriers and brokers and agencies that you can imagine on their platform. And so they're accelerating right through COVID. Starting, I think it was May, they started to have 100,000 quotes per month, which is a ton. Yeah, it's larger really than any one carrier by itself in the small and medium business insurance space, because that's where they play SMB insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So 100,000 quotes, and they're accelerating. And so they said, okay, what's next? And part of that next was layering on insurance knowledge, insurance information. And so that's what really RiskGenius does. We understand the contents of insurance policies. And so they acquired us to start basically helping people understand what's in their insurance information, what's in their insurance quotes, what's in their policies. And so we're sorting through all of those opportunities right now. We still have all of our products as standalone products, which we're excited about. And then also going to be figuring out how we can help with the exchange going forward as well. So super fun times.
So Bold Penguin, as I understand it, to somebody who's not fully initiated, Bold Penguin kind of connects different parties in that commercial insurance ecosystem, the carriers, the brokers, the customers. Is that correct?
They really, yeah, they're connecting the carriers and the agents and the brokers, right? They don't really get into the direct sale to the insureds because that was one of the things that really aligned between our two companies. We both believe in empowering the agents and the brokers and the carriers to make business transactions happen faster. And so that's really where they play. They're not trying to go blow up the commercial insurance world. They're trying to empower people through better technology.
So what was Bold Penguin's play in this? Was it for quicker binding or is it for something else?
They are already doing quicker binding. That's kind of their initial solution that they created. So you can go in and you're an agent, you log in, pick out the business, and then fill in some information and you get a quote and then you can bind that quote. So they were already working on that. They already had that much faster. The play now is how do we make that, you fix the pipes is the way I describe it. So the pipes are what connects the carrier to the agent. And that's what they went after first, right? But then if you want to make those pipes even faster, you have to start doing other stuff that's not just fixing the pipe. It's like augmenting the pipe. So think about third-party data. Like you type in the name of the company and it just pre-fills all the information. That's one thing that the insurance intelligence group is going to be looking at. Doing the renewal process, helping people understand, okay, what do I have? What should I think about adding on top of that when I do renewals? That's another thing the insurance intelligence group is going to be working on. And then, understanding what's in a policy, like what are the different coverages that I have that I'm being offered in this quote. That's another area. So it's really what I call augmenting or possibly automating some of the work that's being done when people go buy commercial insurance as an agent, when you're trying to bind it, or a carrier, you're trying to offer it.
So RiskGenius was about 5 years old.
Yes. Yeah. We started RiskGenius about 2014, 2015. Technically, our company started back in 2011 when we were doing claim document management. And then 2014, 2015 is when we pivoted to the policy analysis space.
Right. So it's a big change to join another company, to merge, to be acquired. What was part of your thinking there?
That's a great question. I think that honestly, a lot of the digital efforts, the roadmaps that are out there to adopt commercial insurance into like a digital kind of ecosystem, those are going to have to speed up because you have insurers, you have companies, businesses buying insurance in a way that's totally different than before. They're willing to go online. They're willing to have a Zoom call. They're willing to bind and quote online. And that's why you're seeing kind of Bold Penguin's quote starts really go up. And so, if companies like Bold Penguin and RiskGenius are really going to deliver the solutions that are demanded of our customers, we're going to have to speed up. Our roadmaps are going to have to get faster. We don't get to play around anymore. And so when we kind of talked about what they were doing, what we were doing, we realized like our mission statements completely overlap. And as we thought about our organizations and our structure and who does what, we realized, oh my gosh, they have scientists that we could work with. We have engineers that they could work with. We have knowledge workers that understand policies that they could use. And so it all started to just make sense as one thing so that we could really accelerate what we were doing.
So they're kind of where the action is.
They are where a lot of the action is in the small business insurance space. And they're moving up market as we go. RiskGenius started in large accounts, right? Large, complicated insurance policies. And so that was part of the appeal of RiskGenius is like we play with those policies. That's an area where they could potentially grow into later on. So, as they have small insurance policies figured out, they can start expanding. They're looking at E&S right now, or they're in the E&S space right now. And so they are, they're not just sitting tight with just doing SMB, kind of vanilla insurance policies. They're now doing E&S, and then they're going to be expanding from there.
So I noticed that you're the second InsureTech company to be acquired by Bold Penguin this year.
Yes. Yep.
Would it be safe to assume that there could be others along the way to help them get into other niche markets?
There could be, yeah. I could definitely see that happening, and that's just speculation on my part, but I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so big right now, the InsureTech space. We're seeing quite a few different acquisitions happening. For RiskGenius itself, what can we expect from RiskGenius? I mean, what do you think you're going to be able to do with this? Is there a really neat blueprint, or is it just kind of finding your way with all of these new assets at your fingertips?
Yeah, I honestly think that we're more focused than ever now after the acquisition. So, really intently focusing on what's in an insurance policy. That is it. We're not veering from that. We're just continuing our work. I don't think I've ever claimed that we're done, and we're not done now, and we probably won't be done for 10 years or 20 years because these policies change and technology changes. So, really understanding the guts of an insurance policy. And then what I'm really starting to think about is like, how do we explain that to a person that can't sit down and read an insurance policy for 2 days? How do you summarize what's in an insurance policy so they can understand that very quickly? Because I think that's where we need to get. If you have 100,000 quotes every month coming through, how are you going to explain each of those quotes to the agent on the other side, right? I can't sit down and call them. So I think really accelerating those efforts is going to be important as this digital move takes hold.
Right. I mean, just thinking about that problem of having that many proposals monthly that, of course, people are interested in understanding makes me grit my teeth. I mean, That's a very uncomfortable situation, potentially.
I love it because it's like, as you can imagine, it's greenfields. And
sure, right.
Bold Penguin's just launching their T2 platform, which is their basically the second version of their software for retail agents. So they're going to be making a big push there. And that's where I like to play, like really supporting those independent agents. And that's one of the things I think that's so unique about the Bold Penguin platform is there's so many carriers that are on it, way more than most of the platforms that are out there. And they have this kind of independent streak about them where they're not just beholden to one carrier. So as a result, like agents are going to benefit. But how can we take that to another level where agents are benefiting not only from lots of carriers, but understanding lots of carriers very quickly? I think that's where it's all headed.
We're thrilled. I got to ask you one last question. What's your title now?
I'm Vice President of Product in the Insurance Intelligence Unit. Yeah, I'm helping figure out kind of the direction of the product and just how to serve the market with kind of this digital insurance knowledge and make it all work better.
And are you enjoying the new situation that you work in?
Absolutely, yeah. I report to Ben Clark, who's one of the co-founders of Bold Penguin. So that's really fun. And also, I'm not in the middle of trying to get the deal done. So that's really fun because they are a slog for sure.
Yes.
When did we talk last? What month was that? Was that like March? But yeah, like it's like any financing round. It's just it takes a lot of work, and so it's good to be out of that and back into kind of business creation mode again because I prefer that.
I feel much the same. I went through an experience where I ran my own company for many, many years, and then I became a partner in a company, and I just had one area of responsibility to take care of, and my life got way better because I didn't have to worry about all these things. I just got to focus on what I was really the best at. And I hope you have that experience as well.
Yeah, so far I am. I definitely, without, I'm not the CEO anymore, and there were 50 different things you could work on at any time back when that was the case. So it's nice. Focusing is fun.
This will allow you to pay more attention to the Royals, although sadly, there's no paying attention to the Royals right now.
Not right now, and I did a poor job of paying attention during the season because they were not very good this year. Chiefs is where it's at right now, the Kansas City Chiefs. And
we like them.
Woo!
Yeah. Yep. Patrick Mahomes.
Big fans in our house.
Okay. Well, that's very exciting. Well, listen, congratulations, and thanks for giving us the update. We'll look forward to what you guys accomplish and hearing more about RiskGenius and Bold Penguin.
Awesome. And if there's any agents listening to this, if anyone wants to check out the T2 terminal, the new retail agency platform at Bold Penguin with me, just drop me an email, chris@riskgenius.com. I don't have a new email yet, chris@riskgenius.com. Because like the way I learn stuff is by kind of figuring out with people along the way and like teaching it. So I'm trying to learn this new platform and I'd love to show it to you because so far it looks really cool. And I'm trying to figure out how it works and how it doesn't.
Thanks so much for having us.
You too.
We appreciate it. And
thank you so much, Chris.
And best wishes. Good luck.
Thank you. And enjoy the holidays coming up.
Lee, that was great. And just to put it out there, we're always looking to share things of interest, pieces of news about our industry, about the InsureTech world with our audience.
Yeah.
And so therefore, what should somebody do?
Let us know. Go to the website. You can email us, FNOinsuretech.com. We're on there. And if you think about it, Rob, we are becoming a place where news gets discussed. We had JD Powers on announcing about Lemonade. And, this is a great place to get that news out. So for all of our listeners, get ready. We expect to have some more of these. And if you have some news to tell, let us know.
We'll look forward to sharing it with you and our audience. And until then,
goodbye, everybody.